What an event. I can't believe my eyes. I can't believe my ears. What is happening? Am I missing all the fun?
Yes, you did.
This is incredible. I'm choking out of jealousy. So thank you so much. This is amazing. And I can't keep up with Michael Williams and Charles. I'm going to have to hold myself. So thank you so much. I disagree with Marty DeGarmo. I think he's getting a little rusty. He said it's a great opportunity. It's just not a good one. I'm going to have to correct that, as you may know me. But jokingly, it is the greatest. It's not the last opportunity. It is indeed the very last thing that I would put my hands on or believe after all of this, regardless of the outcome or how things turn. But I believe this is such an incredible moment. I want to really congratulate all of you for being here live and those who would listen to it. And most importantly, for you making it to the very top with us, that is ONPASSIVE. I'm just really happy, just like Julie. My life is getting better in terms of value, satisfaction, and fulfillment. What a mission. The responsibility is escalating more than you can imagine.
Dr. Pappas out there, take one. I know you want
And the days are the same. They're not changing. They're not getting fatter, bigger, longer, or anything. Same 24 hours, same old 24 hours. But we're trying to fit more into it. So you made a decision and you're committed. You see the vision. I see all the good visionaries here. If you see a vision, you put the right action and patience and whatever it takes. It's an inevitable result, only greatness. I'm going to start telling you a new thing. I believe I've been saying it for a reason. I wasn't sure why it was stuck in my dictionary and terminology over the years. But now I am getting to understand it. And very soon you're going to understand why. I have been saying, I don't know, you heard it once, twice, or 35,000 times, depending how long you've known me for. I always say, and often say, that I see you at the top. Sometimes I say, I'll see you at the very top. Somewhere in my signature, a finish of a conversation, and all of that. It turns out to be a very physical, realistic statement, not just a compliment, not a cliche or just a motivating, word or words. Things are above and beyond any event that we can sit and talk about that. I really know that there's some, great development happening all across ONPASSIVE. ONPASSIVE is somewhat tied up with success, positivity. Of course, success grabs the financial and the money aspect of it. That is in our CATMO. And if money doesn't sleep, why should we? That's what I believe. So we should be constantly working and engaged. This is becoming a very, very strong tribal structure as we are all connected. I see Australia is in the house. I see Europe. I see the Northern America, the Philippines, everywhere. So Asia is already waking up. That's incredible. So we're unstoppable. And indeed, it's just hard to contain everything all at once. But I want to encourage everybody to stick to your community, your tribe that is ONPASSIVE. What an incredible family. And don't get distracted with our like other stuff, especially at this moment. Just like this nice song that we heard in the show, I believe you don't want to miss the show. So what I'm saying is get ready, stay tuned, don't go too far. And just the best time is about to be ignited, in my opinion. We will have a longer and different occasion for this discussion, but obviously I just cannot have enough the love, the connectivity between all of us, all across. It's hard to fit it all in one day, so we can be on a webinar for 5 hours, and there the Caribbean will open a new Zoom, or India will pop up on another webinar. Ron and Len would say, let's come and have a 5-hour chat. Julia and Miley said, well, it's our showtime. And on and on and on and on. So you cannot stop us. Nobody can stop us. I really don't want to take much of your time. I know we have some special occasion going on, Julie. I want to thank you. How incredible of a leader you are, and everybody else. All of you, I see all the good people here. But for the first time, I've never talked to in person to Pam Turner. I'm just happy to see you for the first time here, and like directly. So it's very good to see you. And of course, the Filipinos in the house, as I said, so I appreciate that. And Mr. Yang, where are you? Could be in Asia or Canada.
I'm in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. Yeah,
Wisconsin, correct.
That's north of Asia or east of west of Asia.
Also, I am, yes, I'm a part of Asia. Yes.
I understand.
But I'm here in Wisconsin.
Thank you for making it here. So I appreciate everybody. So thank you all. I'm just delighted to be here for a few, and thank you, Peter and Marty DeGarmo, for inviting me here. I was glad to be on time here.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ash Mufareh, for being here with us. We all love you and appreciate you very much.
Thank you. Have fun.
So good to see you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Everyone, I know that there are a few of you are here in the room that have been founders. If I can hear from you, anyone would like to say, just please raise your hand. Ron, the twins.
Me and my twin brother have been in this since the beginning. We love it, and we believe it, and we're in it to win it.
I love that. We are so in it to win it, right?
Yeah,
Right.
that's right.
Anyone else would like to say a few words? Karen. Oh. Would you like to say a few words?
I'm Karen. Hi, everybody. I don't talk about this. I'd let you talk about it.
Karen, would you like to come over here, or would you like to sit there?
I got involved in the GoFundMe because of what it stood for. I love the fact that it was giving to others. And I always, when I got injured, I don't want to be on disability. I want to work, but I can't. So I just try to find out online work. And Ash had to do selling the doing the GoFundMe. I was like, okay, give, and it's automated, and you can't mess it up too bad, and it also messes up with feel like part of something. Like tonight, you're late by 2 hours or however late I made it, and you be part of something, and you can still feel like you're part of something successful.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it's just like, and yeah, I'm just so happy that I'm still here.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you so much. You have anything to say? I know you have a lot to say. Do you like to take the seat?
I have a lot to say. Well, I'm not going to make it that long. I just, I like to truly speak from the heart always. I'm just very, upfront and that way. I've been in it from the beginning. It's been a couple years, and the community, the whole ONPASSIVE family has grown so big since I've been in it. And my belief, to be honest, my belief in it, because, again, I've mentioned this many times. I didn't know a lot about it when I first got in it, and maybe a lot of you as well, kind of like, what am I getting into? And you're hesitant. you're not sure, people have a hard time believing that good things can actually happen to you. It's just I don't know, as we've gotten older or what, I mean, when we're young, we're carefree and everything's good, but as we get older and we've run across things that haven't worked our way, we kind of tend to close our mind. And I know for a fact, when you open your mind, and I believe this wholeheartedly, there are so many more good people out there than are not. And open your mind, look at things positively, and good things are going to happen. They're going to come your way. And this is the one thing that's come my way that I'm so sure of, so happy to be in, would not be holding it in this clubhouse in front of all of you, because you know where I live. And I mean that sincerely. Like, that takes a lot of courage, because you have to have that belief. You have to believe in it that strong to open it up to people and share it. But I do believe it that much. And thank you everybody for coming. This comes easy to me because we are going to bless so many people. And that's, to me, in itself worth all of this. I am confident. I love it. I believe in it. And I've grown from here, not really knowing what it was, and still have a lot to learn, because I know there's more coming, to here in the confidence with this. And I'm so happy all of you are in it. This is just a once in a lifetime opportunity. So thank you for coming. Thank you for being in it.
Hello.
I really appreciate
Hi.
Michael putting this together. I know there's a lot of work doing it behind the scene. I know we talk a little bit, but you put it together, and absolutely, I mean, it's the belief that you decided to hold this meeting here.
Thank you.
Where you live. So I really appreciate you so
Yes.
much.
We become good, close friends. We all live by each other, the three of us. So
Yes.
we hope to grow this. We hope to grow this,
Absolutely.
even this area, and bring in more people and grow it and share it.
Absolutely. And did you know that we have another room over there too?
Yeah.
So what do I say? Do we do this every week or every month? Come on.
Every week.
Every week?
Yeah.
Sherry and I, and then Terry, we've met for coffee every Friday talking about putting events again, not just this event. We meet every Friday, and we call out to all the founders to get together and meet. So if you are in this area, I encourage you, please watch the Leadership Council board, the post that I put out, or if you're on my Facebook, just go on there and see that some of the things that we put out there. We are meeting every week, committed, right, Sherry? Right, Terry?
Right.
Yes, thank you so much. And if we are not physically together, we do live together. So if you are already in it, why not share it, be in it, and be in it to win it?
Yes.
Right?
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah. Hello.
All right. In this room, we're not taking any comment in the Zoom at this point. I will watch the time, and if I have some more time, I will definitely do that. So if you're on the Zoom, please give us a few moments. I know we do have lots of guests here tonight. We do have our Leadership Council on the Zoom. If we could address a few questions. I know it is late, but if you have a question where you said, I want to know this before I'm going to go home and sign up. If you have inkling questions like that, we'll love to address that tonight.
I only had a question regarding the water drinking.
Oh.
Was that active or inactive?
The drinking water is active.
Okay.
And if you can drink water, you can be in ONPASSIVE. And when you are in ONPASSIVE, you're actively sharing so that all that is active. Does that make sense?
I'm drinking. Sure.
He owns insurance business.
Yes.
So how could the company help him?
Good question.
Absolutely.
I have like 10 businesses.
You have 10
Wow.
businesses.
He definitely needs ONPASSIVE.
Absolutely.
So
All right.
time and
I would love to have one of our leadership council address that questions. And I think it is a great question. And it is a questions that a lot of us may have if we have businesses. So on the Zoom right now, if you've heard the questions, leadership council, if you could help me answer that. The question is, I have several businesses. One of them is insurance. How ONPASSIVE can help my business? If you could unmute your mic or raise your hand, somehow I'd love to hear from you. Leadership Council. Michael William, Charles, Smarties. Who else? Who else on here? I only see one screen right now. Why don't I just call on Michael William right now since he's smiling?
I raised my hand, Julie.
Oh, Mr. Ash Mufareh, I didn't
Okay,
see.
damn, again,
That's
Michael,
even
okay,
better.
he's taking the spotlight. Go take it, Michael. Yeah, go ahead.
You're the best person to answer. Go ahead. I'll
Have you
wait for
been talking
Charles.
to Chris Johnson
Oh,
and
boy.
Ron? It literally banned me, like, wow.
Oh, boy.
All right, so as of today, I can confirm with you, we just finished, well, today's what? Yeah, so India calendar time, the 30th of August, if you look back, we finished the viable product of OMart. OMart, okay? There is a product that is called OCommerce, also was done. And again, viable, we get to the testing, scaling, fixing, redo, but like the initial production was complete. Like I said, we have about what we call them like top 14 or something. The first 14 products are just being wrapped up and complete. So I want to talk, why did I mention OMart and OCommerce? Because they uniquely work in terms of promoting other stuff that belong to you. So OCommerce, any merchandises you have, the name says it, any e-commerce app need that you may have, add your items, mark them up, collect the money through the integrated gateway and merchant account, that is OWallet, and keep your earnings. Everything is handled by us. We are the work. You tap into ONPASSIVE goodness. So that is, I think, is self-explanatory, the OCommerce. When it comes to OMart, that's where if you have multiple businesses, let's say several websites, and I'm gonna even add to it, say multiple other businesses that you are, it happened that you are an affiliate, a marketer of other businesses. You are a reseller of other businesses. That also is a possibility. So with OMart, straightforward, okay, you click on that application in your ONPASSIVE dashboard, and it will take you to two possibilities as an active, say, a customer of ONPASSIVE. It allows you to add the name of the business, the link, or any materials, whether it's videos or text or imageries, all of that, as much as you want or as little as you want. But at least you need a link or something if you're selling something. That's it. You add it. It is already coded to your customers and to, let's say, your organization. Okay? We're not going to get into details of the structure, but anybody that has happened to come through you permanently, unlimited, okay, infinitely, will be a potential customer on multiple of those opportunities, businesses, whether they're online or even brick and mortars, obviously, say physical products, that can go either way. You have the third option, so OCommerce, OMart, okay? So those will be available on the launch of OnPassive as founders, we will get the opportunity to examine them even before we open to the public, as we know. That's great progress we just had. On the other hand, don't forget you have the website builder, which is OCreate on your own domain, an unlimited amount of pages. The daily funnel that we create, it is going to be delivered to you, but it's a selected content bias. Do you have the ability to change it? Yes. Or not to take what we're doing? Yes. But if somebody is working around the clock while you mind your own life and other activities and enjoy your freedom, and every day your website, like a clockwork, you have a different website, complete, like world-class, state-of-the-art website every day, and you never guess this is for any business. They're just a mix of different content, layouts, all of that, materials, videos. So we have obviously large departments working on that. So you have the daily funnel, you have OCommerce, you have OMart. You follow me how many options that you have to promote and share any other business you have. And you have OCreate, I'm going to say, which is completely customizable. That is you. We have templates, we have platforms where you can click a couple of things, type what you want, or select from something there to drive more and choose to intensify the traffic from or traffic to a specific link that you create. You don't want to go to your domain name, select, we give you the option. It is your traffic. You tell us, I want to send it here. I want to send it to my, beloved dog picture. It's your option. So you're buying it, you're paying for it, okay? So all those are different ways, and you're gonna, obviously, once you navigate and see there's not much work involved, or you have to, like in OMart, you throw it once and it's done. It's like evergreen. You never have to rebuild or maintain or design. You throw it, it's done, okay? Keep in mind, there are businesses could be selected, only the founders have that ability by us collaboratively, that we also add them to the mart, okay, or market, where we can choose some of the exceptional, outstanding, that can align with OnPassive standards businesses out there, okay? So those are all different ways of maximizing our profitability and our, progress. And there are the social products and events and tools, whether it's OConnect, whether it's ONet, and on and on and on. Anyone you grab and you want to share that or host an event or a different aspect of communication, that also. So again, like the leaders just said ahead of me here, the greatest business or the last business, and all that goes in one way. It will be really difficult for any business or rational human being to see all of this packaged value conveniently and avoid it at almost, a steal. We all know the price is incredibly, affordable. Because of all of those reasons, if you have a business, you're just going to have two birds in one stone, right? If you're open to the OnPassive being as a business. But when I see the ability of adding unlimited businesses, it's not one, two. What I like to say is 10 birds in one stone. That's on the average, because a lot of people will say, well, I have the money, I have the ability, it's not technically challenging, I just click a couple of things, let me try this out. But we don't sell, we're not going to sell weed We're not going to sell any subjective, questionable, crazy stuff. I'm just saying. So it's not like anything we can do that. Okay, so we have to do a professional practice. That's all. But if you have something to sell, you're going to sell until you run out.
That's beautiful.
Does that answer your question?
Does that answer your question?
Okay.
Is there any
If you still want to hear from Michael, go ahead.
What was your question again?
Oh, in relation to that, is there any limitations as to how many businesses would you be able to go ahead and promote those, let's say your home market?
Are there limitations on how many businesses can you promote?
How many businesses can you collect? The word is unlimited. There, like add, you know that plus sign? Yeah, you keep adding.
All right, everyone, you have the CEO of ONPASSIVE is here with us. And it is an opportunity here to ask your questions, to clear out any questions that you might have. Anyone here in the room or anyone here in the Zoom?
I've got a question.
Yes, please. If you could.
I have registered under different emails. First of all, Ash, nice to see you here.
Would you like to come over this side because the camera goes this here? I'll step away.
Thank you. Hi, Ash. Good to see you.
Good to see you. My name is Ash. What's your name?
My name is Kian.
Nice to meet you.
K-I-A-N. Likewise, Ash. Thank you very much. I send you messages, approval messages, that is on LinkedIn. So I'm there with you as you post. And I'm very glad to see
you see my LinkedIn more than me. I guarantee that. I probably haven't seen it.
They're fantastic. Thank you. I want to ask you, I've established accounts under different emails. Now, of course, obviously their reliability is not going to be as good as ours when we go on. So what do I do if I need to change those emails into a different email address for the accounts I've already established?
So are you talking about while we're in OFOUNDERS or even in the future with OnPassive?
You see, I established 2 to 3 accounts, just as an example, and I established them each under a different email address.
I understand, yeah. But are you talking about now or later when OnPassive is open to the...
That's a good question, because I don't know whether I should do it now or afterwards.
It's a different procedure. As of now, reach out to our Leadership Council. That's the only way you can do that. Support, they're not going to change it for you. They're probably going to have to question a few things. So a faster, easier way, you're connected with Julie, I assume, or anybody out there. They will help you out, okay? They know who they contact. And if you're talking about in the future of OnPassive, we're going to have all different kinds of security and verification on a live chat, even phone, different languages, different call center in different countries. You will have a video support. Like I don't see any company yet that has a video support. Our people are going to be on the video like me right now, just one-on-one. You pop up if you want that feature and they walk you through. You want to give them control of your things. They will modify what you need on fast. It's not, they're going to aggravate you by back and forth, a lot of texting and, you know, different language and verbiage and confusion. Okay, what do you want to get done? Okay, just point at it. Somebody will take over. We'll fix it for you. Have a good day.
That's lovely. Thank you.
So that's why it's a different thing between now and later. Right now, we're great. You know, we're gracious that we have Leadership Council that they work tirelessly around the clock. Literally, you're gonna have at least one Leadership Council member that is awake at any given minute around the 24 hours. Every
Sounds
day.
great. I'm looking forward to lots of chapati. I'll see you later.
See you.
So much,
What
Mr.
was that, chapati? What was that?
That's right.
Yeah.
Chapati was right. Yeah.
Was that food? I'm sorry, but I had.
It's a lovely, lovely food.
Okay. Is he cussing at me, Julie, or what did he say?
He's smiling. Mr. Ash Mufareh, you're here. You have the floor. anything that you like to speak, anything like that. We all just wanted to listen to what you're saying. And I don't see any other questions that oh, you have one. Oh, Ilana, she's one of our founders traveling from LA. Come down here. She's taking the floor. Hold on.
Hi, Ash. How are you?
I'm good.
Last time I saw you, I was the host in the event in Israel. And now
I remember that, yes.
I traveled 2 hours to see Julie. I hope the guests here realize the caliber of this leader. She's amazing. Well worth the travel for me. So I was listening to what you just shared with us regarding Omart. And that's not Omar, that's Omart, right?
At the T.
And I just want to make sure that I understood. So when you're saying Omart in one founder's position, and you can set multiple businesses in that one founder's position, so can you also, will we be able to dictate how much traffic will go into each business simultaneously, or will it be separately? Because my understanding in the past was that we are better off having one business per one founder's position.
Very good to see you, definitely. And that was an incredible event. I will never forget it. So thank you for that, and would love to do it again, and hopefully in person. And I hear a lot of wonderful things from Michael Williams about our team in Israel. And we're connected, and we're in, fully advocates. So keep up the good work. And when we talk about one business, we're talking about OnPassive business. But how many businesses can you promote? There's no tap and there's no cap per account. Each different login, each different username and paid account doesn't limit the amount of businesses. It's a very good point if you want to get very specific about how much traffic to, let's say I have 5 businesses, fair number, and I want to divide it 20% or different ratio if you wish. I think up until now we have it by time. Okay, the fencing aspect, which is a reusable feature where you could say so and so date, I don't want traffic. Okay, this date, okay, I don't want traffic from, example like Jamaica, example, or you cannot deliver products there. So you have the geofencing because it's the IP tracker. Perhaps that will be integrated with Omart to align the traffic or specific business. But in time-wise, yes. But we don't know the amount of traffic because we just send traffic. It's open at the traffic is going to this link. You could define a date range between so and so on this. But since you have multiple accounts, or likely because if the person has multiple businesses, it does make sense. That's one of the realistic, reasons to have multiple accounts. And even, if the affordability is an issue at the beginning for multiple numbers, get one account established, try to monetize or divide the product, but you're going to need more traffic if you're talking about multiple businesses. So you cannot also, you should not, or you would not hamper the traffic on your main business. Likely that would be on passive. So you can continue that. So I suggest multiple accounts when it comes to multiple businesses. If you're interested in a nice volume of traffic, and perhaps you can grab traffic. But if you buy a package or that is auto refilled, okay, we call it like bottomless cup of traffic or bucket. And when you refill, you could specify I want this, this refill to go, which will be huge, okay? And the ratio is probably 10th what we have on the initial package, okay? The entry, because you have all the other products and the activation, all of that. But when we're talking about just the O traffic package, it's 10 times more the volume. So you could specify this package, this order, this refill, business A, this one, business B, etc. Very good question, very technical. And if we encounter any demand that, you know, to be more customizable, it's going to be done.
Thank you. One other quick question. I asked actually today at a webinar, which I'd love to have your answer. In regards to 1099s, we here live in the US. So some of us have purchased several accounts. Some of us have purchased accounts in our kids' names. If it's a minor, it's no big deal. We probably know the answer. But if our child is over 2026 and still we are the ones controlling the funds and submitting those funds maybe into our own account. So will the 1099 be determined by the name on the GoFounders account or the name of the bank account we're going to?
Very good question too. Beautiful. So the first one, when we are going to ONPASSIVE, by default is going to copy your data. It's a single sign-on. It's copying your data in OFOUNDERS, and there are some stuff that you could modify except the email, okay, address, and the same applies. Like if there is a severe need, we will still help you with that to modify anything. So nothing, you know, we're trapped to permanently. It's just a different procedure for security reasons. We know that. But when you when you fill up the application, you're going to obviously the registration. We're talking about as a customer. It's simple, you know, terms of use and all of that. You know, it's. But when you click, you want to become a reseller. That's when it involves that. So the policies are there, okay? So that's a different agreement. You sign it and you become more specific. Up until you make money, okay, there's no need. You have to make, in the States and I believe in Canada, you would have to make $600 until you're required to, you know, fill the 1099. And you're gonna get those from your merchants. Okay, so whatever the provider is, let's say, let me give you an example. If, let's say a common processor, okay, PayPal, if you have an income on so and so, they're going to send, like within the first couple of weeks of January, they're going to send you 1099 and a copy to the IRS. Now that will fluctuate, that will vary from country to another, okay? For us, we're not involved into that. It just you, the system in that country, and the merchant. So crypto is a different scenario. Banks, our own is different, but most of them are going to require KYC. Most of them are going to report any income that is noticeable, let's say above $600. Anything below that is not going to be recorded. So it is really not, you're not trapped, no worry. Okay, you can collect, and later on the child is going to grow, you're going to switch it over. It's all about when you withdraw the money, okay? Like within the wallet, we're not asking you for major security, you know, setups. But when you want to take that money out, which method you're using, the merchant, the processor, if it's a bank, if it's a card that we have no control of, they're gonna say you just earned that money.
Well, what happens in the case that, you know, there's some countries where many people don't have a bank account, so they might be transferring it to an ONPASSIVE card or something?
Yes,
so
why not?
So ONPASSIVE is going to submit like a 1099 of theirs?
According to the country, that's a very good question, and I think that's a financial topic. So one important, when you ask good questions, I'm going to have to give you transparent and satisfactory details. So when we are talking about the financial department, because we're setting up now for the main event, as we all know, we are setting up just like 2 countries, 2 different departments, as you know, security reasons. We're setting up the financial department between 2 different. If you look at the list of the most secure top 10 countries, they're within the top 3. Okay, go figure. Take a look. This is fact. See that the top 10 most secure countries globally. Take the top 3, 2 of the top 3, that's where we are assembling our financial department, 1 in each. And in 1, it is going to be the largest department with the biggest talent, PhDs, you name it, like doctors in economy, numbers, math, you name it, accounting, CAs, CPAs, and they're more equipped with talent in global. That's why the country cannot work here. So it's a very diverse spot where they're able to cater to different, and they have agents in every country. So this is a very good topic to them. And I wish I do have like the definitive answer to you, but I would imagine, you do not imagine the numbers of papers we're signing around the clock. So I'm trusting one of those will cover what you just asked about. So
Thank you so much.
Probably there. Absolutely brilliant questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. O'Reilly would like to have a question, but he doesn't want to stand up. So,
Mr. O'Reilly, go ahead and please speak a little bit louder so we all can hear you.
So I wanted to know if they provide any type of work. You guys can do telecom because we're from the telecommunications network. So I don't know. I know you guys are a SaaS model. We're a SaaS model, and it seems like you guys only sell tangible goods, like cell phone services or anything like that.
Did you hear that, Mr. Ash?
I think no. Nobody heard that. We heard he's talking, but
would you please speak a little bit louder? Would you mind coming this way so we can hear you?
I mean, basically, do you guys provide or accept telecommunication networks like carriers such as T-Mobile, Verizon? We are our own carrier network.
why suffering? We're getting like a little bit better, but can you like another 2 feet?
Might step a little bit. Yeah. It's a great question, though. It's a great question. And
I don't want to miss it. Like I don't want to guess.
I just don't want to miss it. It's a great question.
But sounds like a great group. So all.
It is. It is.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Well,
And if you move a little bit forward, we'll see you. Wow.
So what I was
Good to see you. Yes, much better now. Thank you.
So we have a telecommunications network, and to do so, we had to get licensed with the FCC, which is the Federal Communications Commission. And then we had to get licensed with every state and then every municipality inside the state to sell cell phone services. And then we had to buy it from an aggregator. So I'm wondering that if your platform, because it sounds like you're more focused on tangible goods than SaaS goods. So I was wondering if you guys even have like some type of system to work with cell phone companies or carriers, as you can say.
Yeah.
There's a difference between like a reseller and all that. We're not a reseller, we're actually like a carrier. So you would like I'm licensed to do internet service, satellite service, phone services, like stuff like that.
Right. And what's your name again, sir?
My name is Michael.
Very nice to meet you, Michael. So really powerful question. So when it comes to the OnPassive application, we're talking about B2C, like business to customer relationship. So you're going to be an individual, a consumer that is using that as an individual. If we're talking about different models outside, there's some white label and you become like the reseller. That's a different approach. So I think we're going to talk about the ONPASSIVE. That's where our focus right now. And we're actually in, the process of regulating a few of the products. Some countries got some challenges when we're talking about the virtual, which is like a VPN process, and PAL, where like you could make a call or one-on-one, all the combined applications, put them in one, you come up with OPAL, okay? And then Connect is a different approach, but like OPAL, it will work from a phone, any device that you have a built-in mic and camera, it would work. So some countries would have that strict. They want to have decrypted. Okay, our application is encrypted, so nobody could spy on you and all of that. So they want everything open, and they will charge the individual, not us, extra fees if you want to open it. I think we're all familiar with, let's say, Skype, fair to say, or WhatsApp, or so those countries, example, like you could have it, but it will be banned. You might have texting, capability, or capacity, but when it comes to making call, like a communication, they want that to go through their telecommunication, ministries, or and the reason they want to do that is they want a piece of the pie. But if you're from that region, not using the virtual, you're just going to have something will pop up from them to you, a fee that will open it. Follow me? Mm-hmm. Now, do you like me to expand your hope and creativity beyond that? This is the basic. But if you like to go further than that, luckily we have some inventors aboard, and we're working with that. So the combination of some physical products that we're, building is going to allow us to not to be, I just maybe want to say a mild one, without kind of discomforting anyone publicly, not now, because I know some of the information will go publicly regardless. So we will not be under the mercy of any communication system, publicly or the individual, let's say, company, if it's a private sector or all of them. But I'm trying to say, any device, we would have something that you will have your own connection and bypass, and they don't have control. And we will be like so creative, because it's legal. That's the first thing we made sure we can do that. They will be after us. So we're flipping the table. And I'm sorry that some of the communication people are just gonna have a hit, the least to say. So I hope I didn't give too much, and I hope I gave enough, that this is a very, it's not an easy product, like just package it and sell it. A lot of regulation goes around it.
So you're saying basically it's like kind of like you said, like a Skype? Because I'm talking more like actual, like physical, like SIM cards and stuff. It seems like you're doing more of a VoIP, where I'm like SMS, MMS. So if you're gonna do it online with computers, that's more like VoIP, which is like voice over internet provider, like that. I think that's what you're referring to.
Both. So, but it's unfair to say like Skype. I'm just saying. So you have all the capability in one screen. So the OPAL is one-on-one or groups where you don't switch screens or profiles and all of that. You want to share a file, screen, text, audio, video, recorded, live conference, all that available. So technically, if I just want to do voice with you, this is a phone. I no longer need long distance or phones or any of that. So that where they step in. Okay, not every country. I mean, they're just a few, but you just have to entertain them. So we're already following all the policies and everywhere. It's a lot of work for us. Don't think it's easy, okay? But it's doable. I just don't want you to take, it's a block or anything. No. On the other side, when you mentioned having our own connection, yes. But again, stages. So we're talking about phase 1, phase 2, etc. So eventually, we will be the internet, not just own it. That's it.
Okay, sounds good.
Hope that helped and gave you a tiny headache. That would please me, because I don't like just to give you mild information. I like to give you stressful information.
I mean, yeah, no, it's just, it doesn't compete with me. I'm more like handheld, and that's more, hardware in the ground. Is that so I mean, it sounds great. I mean,
if I hinted that, like in a way, our own physical created by OnPassive physical products that will allow you to no longer need a communication company.
Yeah,
is that enough?
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah,
and therefore you don't need to comply to anyone's rules. We'll be the ruler of the town, and they would come to us. No, seriously, it's like something, I didn't invent that. I had people that I just told them the need. But we're going to win, like everything else.
All right, well, thank you.
Indeed.
Does anybody else have any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Ash. Is there anyone else that would like to ask any questions at all? We are good.
What better way to get your questions answered?
Yes, Ray. What better way to ask questions when you have our CEOs here?
Just want to make sure I'm like, my impression, we're all founders. So I'm assuming everybody is a founder. So we're not, exactly. We're not
There are a few
revealing.
guests in the house, Ash. So
okay.
So when the founders,
that's
please,
why I want to be selective. Okay, because some information only belongs to the founder, the active founders.
So founders, be mindful of proprietary type questions.
So if you're going to ask question, I'm going to ask you for your social security and for your ID. And no, I wouldn't do that. Yeah.
Hi, Ash. It's Ray Ramsey.
Do you want to move forward so he can see you a little bit?
Hi, Ash.
Hi. You said this is who?
Ray, my name is Ray.
Nice to meet you, Ray.
Nice to meet you, sir. I appreciate you taking time to be here. This is just a general question so that I understand better, but let's just take, for example, real estate. For real estate agent is a founder. Will they be able to advertise their website and their services for just their area?
Very good question. Yes. And thanks to our global leaders, okay, those are going to be the key to open up more specific advertisement. There are some countries we're going to have physical presence and like operational setup, okay? There are a few. They will continue to increase. But the vast majority of the world, we're going to have a representation through our global leaders. So those are some of the benefits they get to do some coordinations with our headquarters. Okay, we're going to have the administration to set up local things that are only throughout the country or the surrounding. And they will be arranging those, like I want to target here and all of that. So we do AI targeted to this country. There are some advertisement will be in that country. And our delivery system enable us to tell where the traffic to go and exclude. So you would have that ability.
That has to be challenging for you, I'm sure, and I appreciate all the extra effort. But when he was talking about cellular service for the US and you're talking about nationwide, I mean, worldwide.
Worldwide, yes,
it just gave me a thought because I'm funding director for Goldwater Bank. We're a nationwide lender, but I'm constantly, talking to other mortgage companies that are limited to the states they're licensed to do business in. And then my preferred real estate agents, like we're getting ready to launch a reality TV show for real estate agents, similar to Shark Tank. And that's coming from one of the top real estate coaches in the US who's licensed in Florida and Georgia. So they've had some challenges with that show, but he's going to have basically the top 50 real estate agents in the United States on that show. So they've had to consider the licensing and be careful, you know, but
Absolutely.
that takes care of itself for them.
Is that Primerica or no?
No, this is real estate experts, and Jason came out of Atlanta, Georgia. He lives in Miami, Florida now, and his new partner is Kevin Harrington from Shark Tank.
Got it.
And that show is getting ready to launch by the end of the year. And actually, we're going to have a lot more probably conversation about that later through Julie and you.
My pleasure. Yeah, listen.
They're very interested in meeting. They're very interested in becoming a part of this. And so anyway, I've had a conversation with Jason for a few days.
One prime minister of a country already showed, you know, ready to become a founder already. And therefore, like having OnPassive to be the primary tool to top university in the country.
Yeah.
Without saying that ahead of time. So we got a prime minister.
That's neat. No, I mean, I just think, you know, what you've built is going to be a great opportunity, and there's just going to be lots of moving parts really fast for different organizations.
Would you wish to be in my position?
No, sir.
I know that. I'm just telling you. So it's a lot of work.
I'd love, Ash, I'd love to be in your position, but I'm not that smart. So.
Oh no, I mean the work. No, you are. No, you are. You ask a very brilliant question, and my wife just said today, like, why are we doing this again? Remind me.
Exactly.
The deal was for freedom and to free others. So now I'm being a slave. I mean, to say the least. But I thought I hope it will come up to an end.
You've got to get this done fairly quickly because you're going to need to sleep eventually.
I hope so.
Okay. Thanks, Ash. I appreciate your time.
That'll be great. I look forward to conversating with you and Julie too.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Ray. That was a great question. You have a question? Yes, please come on in. Come on, have a seat, and you can ask questions. Say your name and then whether or not you're a founder.
Yeah. Hello, Art. My name
hello.
Yeah,
He's a founder.
I'm from the mountain.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. My question is that I have a founder, a mini founder in Myanmar country. So the problem I have is that the country doesn't have internet. So I have a very hard time to promote those people, you know, for understanding the company, and also they are late of the understanding the how to go to the email and how to go to the website, you know, and I want to know if this kind of situation, how do you how those people in Myanmar
no connection whatsoever, like no whatsoever, like they're not connected. It's just hard to imagine. How is that possible? Like
yeah, they do
no Wi-Fi, nothing.
They do have a Wi-Fi, but not a long time. Maybe 30 minutes, maybe 1 hour, and they cut it off. You know, and then on and off and off and on. So, and since we live in this country in USA, we have a hard time to understanding that when they have a Wi-Fi and when they don't have it. So what's
the population there? What's the population now?
On passive, you are talking about?
No, in the country there.
The country, I have no clue. I have no clue at all.
It's just hard to get anything done, and I would imagine the internet users count or the population of their internet users wouldn't be great. I mean, they have no connection, so that would be a tough one. But in general, that would go back to the conversation with Michael earlier. You know, we will still be somewhat limited if we don't have our own, if we don't become the internet provider and then have the hardware to receive and the satellites or within the devices anywhere on the planet to connect to the internet or to have that stream. But that's not immediate thing. So this requires some patience. I would like to be more informed. I'm not very knowledgeable on the situation there. Like this is the first I hear. I know always there's something, you know, maybe expensive. There is like not the greatest connection, but 30 minutes a day, the most limited I've heard.
54 million, Ash.
How many? 2.54.
54,
50 more
million.
Unbelievable. Wow. How is that possible?
The government.
Ash,
Wow.
Ash, could I speak a little bit about the country?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead, Mr. Young.
Yeah, as you remember, right after before the inauguration of President Biden, the country Myanmar went into a civil war at this point, and so they shut off the internet from time to time. Remember that?
Wow. Yes. Yes. There were some protests. I remember. Okay.
Right. So that's the limitation. Yeah.
And they never lifted up.
Yeah, I think we still have.
So
some
they
issues.
have the connection. They have it's just a political decision.
Right.
Afraid of people, you know, getting some power and removing the rulers. Okay, got it. That is not my department. Got to talk to Charles Oson. He knows politics and all that stuff.
But I think the question asked is that, for example, when we have the public launch or the global launch, and if they are behind, is there a way we can help them to eventually execute their or activated their founder account?
Yeah, yeah. If we're talking about founders already, that's not an issue. Okay, we will have to discuss that. We don't need to get technical now, but forgive my ignorance about not knowing, you know, that this is the situation after that time, and this many people are really being abused in a way, or not having the freedom of speech or connecting. But anyway, we would have to really dive into that, like more technical. Don't worry, anything belongs to the founders. If they are registered, this is not an issue. I assure you that. Okay, we will set up something, and hopefully the situation will change. And perhaps we will always go through the government and see how can we, you know, work with them.
Great,
regardless of their policy. I mean, we have dealt with countries, or we are actually dealing now, that it's not in any way an indication that we are agreeing with their policies or against them, or we got nothing with that. We just need to get business done together, and we just have to go through the door anywhere we go.
Thank you so much, Ash. Thank you.
I'm so sorry. I really, like, wow, this touched me like, whoa, I wouldn't imagine, like, it's not livable.
Thank you very much, Ash.
Thank you.
He's my team leader. So
absolutely, yes.
Yeah, thank you so much.
You're doing great, yes. And again, Michael Williams told me all the good stuff about you. And I've watched some of your videos, not knowing one word. It just showed me the professionalism that you have, and some of them it looks like in a studio, right? I thought that was uplifting, because you're putting the effort in a very professional way.
Thank you, Ash.
Indeed. Is it like a news channel or a YouTube channel? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, just like any of the YouTube channel we have. Yeah, so
okay,
similar to what we all have. Yes.
Well, keep up the good work, and we know that we have always we believe there's a solution for every situation. Okay, might be a little extra work, but we're creative, and we will always find a way to do it.
Thank you.
Indeed, my pleasure. All right, one more, Julie, because
yes.
Okay.
Anyone else has other questions would like to address today? I think we are going well. We're doing good on this side. Anyone on the Zoom, Marty?
One hand raised. OW Engineer Mike, you have a question, sir? You can go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good evening, everybody. Good evening, great leaders of ONPASSIVE. Welcome again, Ash. We're glad to have you. Thank God you there. Thank God for the family, to everybody. My family and myself, we are very grateful for this opportunity you've brought for us, which is like a movement, and we are in need to win it. Thank you very much. So this is like a follow-up, but we have kind of non-founders here. I cannot ask that question here, though. Thank you.
Okay.
Up
to you.
Founders only. We have founders only webinar, so you can bring it there.
Yeah, I know. Wait, I wanted to today in the morning. I came up to the follow-up. I didn't get that, so I'll just go to another one. Thank you.
My pleasure. Absolutely. But good to hear you, Mike. Engineer Mike.
Thank you very much, Ash.
Well, Ash, we're good on our side, I believe. Everybody good?
Yeah, good.
Yeah. Good. And we thank you. We thank you, Ash. We thank you, leaders, so much for your time. Really appreciate it. Julie had to step away just for a moment, but she loves you.
All right, we can talk about her now.
I love you.
We're gonna say good stuff about her.
I see another hand raised. I don't know if that's a question. Professor Howard Rollins.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yes. Okay, man, I tell you, it's more than an honor to be here. I mean, all these wonderful people. And the thing is, I'm getting an echo feedback to my voice here.
Sorry, we lost you for a minute. Yeah, the sound.
Okay, can you still hear me? Can you hear me now?
Let's begin all over again. Yeah, please.
Okay, well, what I'm going to say is that, you know, I guess you could say, wannabe entrepreneur. For years, I've tried to do things.
I'm sorry. Can somebody step in if you heard it? Like, okay, entrepreneurs. I heard like every other word.
Okay. Can y'all hear me now? Can you hear me still?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
Don't give up.
All right. Thank you, Ash. This is the thing. Ash, you are our hero. And
thank you.
What I want to say is that I know that, you know, I intend to do some great things in the world. I want to add value, like I know that most of our family members are going to do. And I didn't want to get too carried into this right now, but what I'm working on, to get this, the global warming situation. I believe I have some remedies that could work toward that, practical things that can be done. Like, okay, the plastics we're throwing away in landfills right now, if we in essence take those plastics and convert them to Bristol white to reflect light back up, heat, then it'll relieve the Arctic regions, and we can rebuild the area with at least enough area to reflect the heat away from the earth, and it'll start cooling us down. We start putting similar type seedings on Kilimanjaro and various other high equatorial areas. I believe that we can actually bring down the temperature enough that our weather condition will change. Because right now, as you know, with Hurricane Ida and all these other things, these things are growing in severity all the time, and they're getting worse and worse. We've got all these fires in California because of the heat problems. well, we're going to eventually burn up, our world's going to burn up if we don't do something. And I know that if I can get people to wrap their head around the concept of bringing the temperature back down to where we go back to something like we had for millions of years when these glaciers were massive and they kept the world cold. They're like our air conditioners. If we can restore that balance, okay, then, we could really achieve something that could make the world, I'm sure God would be certainly happy about this. So that's something that I want to put on the table at some point down the line. Maybe we can get together and maybe we can contribute money to get people who can actually perform what's necessary to do this, to get it done. Because they can, pick up the plastics, recover all that, convert them, put them where they need to be, use filament line to string them together, sort it out or whatever, but build an artificial glacier, as it were, for the glaciers we've lost. Because all this fresh water dumped into the ocean from the glaciers now, and our tides are rising. The temperature of the water is making the storms worse. If we can just start to reverse that, we might be able to save Mother Earth. So that's all I want to say right now. And I'm proud of everything going on. I can't wait until this thing comes to fruition, because my mom, I've tried to tell her, she's skeptical. I got her in, and she's like, don't get your hopes up too high, because you've always been disappointed with stuff. I said, no, this is too far gone not to work. It's intelligently deployed. If you really understand all the ramifications involved here, you can't see how in the world it's not going to happen. That's all I'm going to say right now. And I admire all you guys. Marty DeGarmo, I feel like I know all you folks. I see you all the time. And Michael Williams, Michael Ellis.
Where are you right now?
I'm in Texas. I'm in Longview, Texas. I live in Longview. I bought a house here. And I came to work on a project for my mom a while back. I'm an inventor. And incidentally, I'm the guy who invented those toilets that flush by themselves about 48 years ago.
So what does the science say? It's like, how far are we from, Earth is being burned down?
Well, I don't have any actual numbers in terms of years or anything, but I know that we're in a thermal runaway condition. And that's not good. That's kind of like electronics. When you have that condition, of course, a transistor could overheat, and the hotter it gets, the higher it conducts, the higher rate of inceptions for us taking in current and so forth, until it finally burns itself open, because it can only withstand so much heat. So I can't say how many.
Statistically, this has been the most number, the biggest, so far, the biggest large number, or the biggest number of the largest number of old wildfires all across the globe, and we're still in August, or technically now.
And these things are going to continue to pervasively get worse, because the cycle that's happening relating to what I'm referring to as thermal runaway, we're in a condition where the hotter we get, the hotter we get. We're trapping gas in the upper atmosphere and everything with the greenhouse gas phenomenon. So this stuff is not being vented out. It's not, cooling off, not relieving, like in the days when we had all this glacial covering. When the ice age, that's millions of years ago, we've had all this ice. And if you look, even as a short time frame as 1940 to now, we've lost a great deal of mass there. And without the reflectance that, cool us off, it's just going to get hotter. And the hotter it gets, the more it melts. And,
of course. And not only that, health issues and pandemics and all those signs, and, water and floods. And of course, okay.
Sure.
Do you expect me to comment anything here?
Yeah, let me just say this. Mother Earth is trying to reclaim its planet, because it's like a living biosphere. Whether we want to look at it like that or not, it provides us life. It gives us everything we need. And yet, if the humans are causing the problems with our industrialization, we just came on the scene with all these technologies that pollute the world and do all these things. So now we're getting cancers in higher percentages because we poked holes in the ozone layer. We're getting forest lands. We're losing like 1,600 rainforests per day on the average, and that number might be escalating higher. We're going to get to the point where the planet is not sustainable if we don't act to do something. And of course, we owe it not only to ourselves, but we owe it to the future generations to come. What kind of legacy are we going to leave them? A world that is self-destructing, because we started the cycle of self-destruction. So when we get things like pandemics, like COVID and different things, I think that's just, in a way, Mother Earth trying to purge us off the scene, because we're the bad guys.
To slow down, yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's basically what's happened there. But then, of course, that's just, my view on it. But I'm a scientific-minded person. I try to look at practical things that can work as solutions. And I think that we just seed these areas with plastic because they're not doing any good in the landfills. In the landfills, untreated, they're just retaining heat and causing increase to the problem. Put them where they can do some good. Make them Bristol white, make them reflective, highly reflective, expand these surfaces out over time.
Who do you expect to do it?
I'm expecting industry to step up to the plate because they've got the money, they've got the means. We as a force with Unpassive, we can talk to people we know. Everybody knows somebody. And at some point we'll connect with enough people that can help maybe get the stuff if they see it as a viable thing. I'm still working it out. I'm writing a book on what my theories are, what my understandings are in relationship to it. I'm researching many things, but the thing about it, like I say, if it's plausible and it sounds scientifically viable, I've even reached out to the scientific community. I'm trying to get Michio Kaku on board, and I don't know, Michio Kaku, he's like one of the foremost scientific leaders we have in the world today, because as you know, we've lost Carl Sagan, and there's another guy, Richard C. Hoagland. He's very knowledgeable. This guy follows all of the stuff relating to the space program early on in the 60s. He was the one that had the thought that water was on the moon, and it was proven later that there is indeed water on the moon, like he postulated way back in the 60s. We know now. He gets into a lot of different science, a lot of stuff, some things related to things that just really way out there. I mean, you really have to, when you get into quantum dimensional physics and all these kind of things, it's pretty deep stuff. But the thing is, these are top foremost scientists in the world with a lot of, respectability. And I'm thinking of—
So allow me to step in. I think we heard you and we know the case. I think it's a debate. Unfortunately, some of the stuff can be controversial, and opinion can get in the way. Though I'm like you, I'm a believer. Science exists and it's a scientific thing. Anything science behind it, we know at this moment in life. I feel we're like in the 27th century because of AI and IT, not the 21st. There is a way. I do believe, and proposals are obvious. It's not a mystery. If there's a solution, then it's a matter of the will. So when we have a will, I realized that COVID-19 is a pandemic, as you just mentioned. I also know poverty is another global pandemic. Ignorance is a pandemic. Criminality and all of that is a pandemic, and violence, and also the global warming. Now, my quickest way of doing it, and I think you want to highlight that, it's a bit of, it took me a while to get to this point, or kind of get my comprehension around it. So I believe anything that is unsolved, politics has to be around it, just like Myanmar. Okay. And when there's no politics, it's much easier and there's more hope to get it done. And when we expect the politicians to, let's say, take the example of to take control of the pandemic, whether it's COVID-19 or poverty or global warming, it's going to be politics. Politics doesn't get things solved. Okay, why? Because they're not qualified and they don't have the character to solve things to others' favor. A politician, mostly, there's nothing absolute, okay, they're in it for themselves. And then they just waste their life competing in different, agendas. But the bottom line, my humble opinion, okay, you create a solution and that would speak louder. So action begins first, okay? That's number one. Anything of a global, broadness, such as this stuff we're talking about, we're partners in this. And when I say that, and I mean it, when Marty DeGarmo talked about any gender, any nationality, size, or all that, this is the true way of getting something done. And we hope that ONPASSIVE would be a good model to that. when there is a global problem, priority number one, or even a local one, priority number one. If you don't have it, forget it. You need unity. If we're all united, okay, if we get united globally as human beings, not as animals or trees or, okay, tonight, tomorrow there will be no poverty. We just communicate in a way, there's a way, because we're not lack of food or resources. And we have extra food. We dump millions of tons of food, or 30% of the food in the United States get trashed. 30%. In my house, your house, Texas, Michigan, anywhere. And there are, we know the number, close to 1 billion people, 800 and some change million people who sleep hungry every night. So that left over in the United States that ends up in the dumpster and pollution, okay, creating that, could solve the problem. And of course, any other thing. So there's not a problem in the mechanics. The problem is in the will. If we get united, we will solve the global warming. But if we're going to talk about opinion, oh, this is a hoax, this is a, I don't know, fake, or this is not true, this is, and this is not an opinion, it's a fact, okay? We're not going to solve it. Just the biggest example, the most obvious one, is the pandemic. If we're going to focus on the original or the cause of that, we can figure that out later and get into politics. But first, let's solve it. And there's a way to solve it. We've seen other, examples where they were able to contain it. And if we don't get along together, because it sounds like the planet is infected now, and if we don't come together with a global plan, not like they fix it in one neighborhood and it pops up in Florida or, your neighborhood, it's just not going to work. We're going to be looping with this for a while.
Well,
the minute there will be more unity on the topic, it's done.
Right. I recognize the difficulty and the intricacies involved with everything related to this and how people view it. But one thing is this, I'm thinking if we can just get somebody interested enough to demonstrate it.
Yeah.
And then once we do that and they say, oh, well, this works, so let's try this. And they can expand it. Right. And the other thing is I'll also come up with advice that I don't have the money to put it together myself. The Terminal University is interested in it, my local college here. But I invent a device that's supposed to slow down the biodegradation process in foods. So I know that.
But I don't want to get off the topic, like in respect to California, they're just going to ban us and now walk away. I just want to stay, but with all the respect, I'm in total agreement with you. And here is my conclusion, so we can have a closure on the topic. What we're doing on Passive is the opposite. I could have come out and just create a movement, talk, and got a lot of believers and all of that, but got to create a system or a solution before you talk about anything. When you have an actual, real solution, people will just believe it. So we have to create, whether, in anywhere, when it works, people don't question it. All right. And it's proven. So we're going to be united here. We're going to solve that. Poverty can be contained, and that can solve a lot of things. Okay. We can have more educated people and less, radical, or I would say better temper, and things will get better. It takes time. Don't think it's going to be like a 5-minute, process. But I do believe you've got to get in action before that. Nothing wrong of having and foresee, where you're going. You have to have a plan and a vision and a great strategy. But without action, nothing gets happen. But the key is unity and practicality. So give the solution. Give people what they want. They'll be more effective, and I think we will do it. Like Milo says, one person at a time.
Yeah, I'm certainly going to do what I can with the resources that I get from my passive, because money has been my biggest obstacle with many things. But if I've got the funding to do stuff, and I'm going to be able to fund myself, then I'm going to work on everything I can do to practically demonstrate this to the mindset to make a difference. And that's we know that politicians are not expert in anything. They're not expert farmers, they're not expert business people. They're not expert bankers, they're not expert much of anything. But we as a people can see common sensialities. We can see something, like you say, if it's proven and tested, trusted, yeah, it'll get what it needs to go forward. If indeed that's what we want to do. So I'm going to do my best to do this.
I'm going to go.
That is great. However,
Thank you.
I'm going to have to
and God
say
bless
good night to everyone.
Bless everyone.
As I've been going since this morning, and I'm back to the morning again. So I'm going to say good night. So thanks, Julie, for having me.
Michael, you can't.
So much, Michael. Thank you.
We're going to just see what Randy want to say and we'll all go. How about that?
All right. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael. I know there's a lot on your plate. Randy, you got something here? My brother Jesse from India just woke up. Oh, the numbers are going up. We're like 5 times more than when I came in.
Hey,
How
Ash,
doing,
how
brother?
are you?
I'm good, Randy.
who are
We're
you
going to go
talking-
to the lady first. I was talking to Jesse. He responded, but no, you were first.
Ladies
You're a
first?
lady. Yes, always.
Thank you so much. I just want to backtrack a little bit and applaud Julie and that group because I literally live 10 minutes from where they did this event tonight. And it was amazing. And I wish I could have been there. So great job, Julie. And that song really resonated with everybody, like Don't Stop Believing. That is exactly how everybody should live their life with OnPassive. Like, don't stop believing. Just that song, put it in your playlist. And then Ash, I'm so happy you guys are feeling well. And we all pray for you, my family, my girls and I, and your kids, your wife, your kids, and you're just always in our hearts. And I literally don't have questions, but except the fact that it's unity, and that guy before who was speaking, he just needs to remember unity. That's all. And thank you so much. God bless all of you. And you're in my heart and soul, all of you. Thank you. That's all. I don't have any questions.
That was beautiful. And thank you so much. It's a great boost. We needed that at the end. Thank you, Randy. Always good to hear you.
Thank
Brother
you, Ash.
Jesse, say good morning and let's close it. I appreciate you and thank you for the to you and your family, the daughters, the kids. So
thank you.
We'll see you soon. Okay.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Just one. How are you?
Yes, yes. Thank you.
So this is when you are available. Okay, we're gonna change all the time so we know when you come.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, yes, sir. Love you, and thanks to everyone sending me so many blessings. And in this time, especially thanks to Gursminder and Marty sir also. Give me a chance and give me a authority to say something. And as sir, few days back in Bangladeshi webinar, you say something about my new kids and about myself, my appreciation of my work also. So I'm right now speechless, and I'm so happy, so glad. And sir, I have no question. Just only a few minutes back, someone sent me a message. Just one, as sir, live right now. So I leave everything, and that's why I right now join this session, because from last few days I'm too much busy with my new kids. And
How's the baby now?
Yes, perfectly fine, sir. And special thanks to Michael also, Michael William. He sent me a blessing also, Marty, and whole the OnPassive community. Right now, sir, as you giving such a beautiful community, and it's a OnPassive. It's a more than a family also, more than a family also. So, sir, I come here right now only for the thanks to you and Gursminder. Every time, Gursminder, I never ever forget the person Gursminder who changed my life, and through myself more than millions of people. So that's why I'm so blessed, and all the things it will happen by the grace of God. So thank you, sir. I have no single question, not at all, never ever. So thank you, sir. Thanks to whole Indian community and whole OnPassive nation, OnPassive family. I have no word. I have no word for the this such a beautiful community. Thank you, sir.
Thank you
Thank
so much.
Mr.
You have
Ash
another
Mufareh.
reason to stay strong, Jesse. Okay, now we need you very strong, and the baby's gonna need you. So long life ahead.
His name
All
is
right.
Champion also. His name is Champion.
Champion. Team champion.
Wow, we are the champions. We are the champions. Mr. Ash Mufareh.
Champion AI. Yes.
Yes, we are deeply appreciate your presence here with us tonight. We have a lot of our friends and founders that come and join us tonight have to drive home a few hours, so they have left, but they actually wanted to say thank you so much for your presence, for you being here with us, for your love, for your dedication, for everything that you do for all of us here. And thank you all the Leadership Council founders who come and join us today. Your dedications and your commitment give us more energy to do this more and more. And I also like to thank so much Terry Thompson, your husband Michael, and Sherry Dursaway for working all together to put this event together. We have about 50 guests and founders show up in this tiny clubhouse here tonight. So I really appreciate all your efforts, and everyone's here. We have Greg is here from LA. He's one of the Leadership Council. We actually have Tony from Colorado is here with us. He flew in.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're not getting there tonight, right?
Come over, Tony. Tony's a founder.
How you doing?
Great. Good to see you. Well, hope you make it safe and take care, okay?
Sure, thank you.
Drive home safely. Thank you. So thank you so much.
Well, Julie, I think enough. We're the one to thank you because you're the superstar. You are the rock star, and like you're all over the place around the clock. And definitely, you just created your stamp quickly. I wish we can have more of you and more Julies. Indeed, you're a good example of a great leader that is in it for everybody. So I think we complete each other. So everybody's doing their part. Just our attendance here, showing up at different times, is already a sign of success. I think we have a sincere, strong desire to make it, and no stopping. But Julie, we want you to be strong and take a rest. I know the energy, and Sherry as well. Like you're giving your fair share. So I'm amazed and speechless how far you've come so quickly.
She's practicing for Madison Square Garden.
Can I say something to Maddie before I leave?
Yeah, remember we put Michael on hold. Okay, we just pulled the pillow.
It's gonna be quick. Maddie said he has lost more money online than anybody he knows. I just want to say he doesn't know me. That's all.
Oh, you want to compete?
Charles, I like a lot of competition, but I hope you did win that one. Okay, I hope so.
No, Charles, I'm sorry to tell you, I'm the biggest loser on that aspect. So I can show you screenshots and you'll be blown away. Up until now, it happens every day. I mean, every day. There's not a month or a day like you don't slip something. It happens, so it's okay. All right, but we're gonna fix it, and you know, it's how you finish. All right, my brother. So thank you so much. Thank you, Michael, for sticking out a little longer. Good morning, India, Asia, all of you. Thank you for making the time. Julie, we love you, and everybody there that was at the clubhouse. It's incredible, inspiring. Everybody here, I was pleased. I didn't plan this long, but it's just never enough. Never enough. We love it. We share the love.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'd like to also shout out to the Vietnamese community in Vietnam. They woke up, they plugged in,
and they join in. So các anh chị em, chúc mừng các anh chị em đã trong một cái công ty rất là lớn. Hy vọng tất cả các anh chị em chúng ta sẽ gặp nhau vào kỳ tới. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
Good morning, Vietnam. Yes, indeed.
Right.
Yes.
Thanks again, Julie.
Great job, Julie. Great job.
Thank you.
Good job, Julie.
Get some sleep, Julie.
Good job, Julie. Good job.
Awesome job, Julie. Thank you, Ash, for
Thank
coming
you,
in.
thank you,
Thank you, Peter.
Good job, Julie. Good night, Ash.
Julie,
Good night,
I love
everyone.
you.
Robin.
Good night.
Thank you,
Good
Ash.
morning. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you, Julie.
Good night.
Good
Good night,
everyone.
everyone.
Thank you, Michael.